CRM system will be very useful to use those videos to teach them how to use the system. Okay, good. So well, first of all, let me start with a short introduction about these trainings. Like I say, we're gonna spend 3 days, or at least 3 mornings together, today on Wednesday and on Friday, with different topics. The way I normally train the dealers is during these 3 hours, 3 hours and a half, we will split the session in two. I will make a break approximately in 2 hours. We will do a break of 15 minutes, and we will start covering a totally different topic. And the idea is that during every day we will see different blocks of information. So today we will focus on database management, or how to access the system first, how to navigate through the system, and how to use the existing database from our customers and the equipment belonging to our customers, right? On Wednesday, we will concentrate on how to create opportunities in the system and how to use the existing Power BI reports, right? And last but not least, on Friday, we will move into the marketing piece, right? Knowing how to create prospects, how to use the prospection in the system, and how to generate activities, tasks, or appointments, where we will be able not just to reproduce or synchronize the agenda like we would do in Outlook, but on top of it, adding comments after our visits that will be useful in the future, right? So it would be like a kind of digitalizing our notebooks in paper we have today, and entering these comments in a digital mode, right? So my manager could see that comment, or even me in the future would be able to review what I did with certain customers 3, 4, 5 years ahead, right? That's the idea. Is there any question before I start with the content for today? Nope. Good. So let me start describing what is CRM. Does anybody today in the room knows what does it mean, the acronym CRM?
Customer relation management, yeah.
Yeah, customer relationship management. So at the end of the day, what we try with a system like CRM, customer relationship management, is to keep under control all our interactions with the customers, right? So during the customer journey, during our regular interactions with the customer, being able to include comments, either when I visit them, or when I create opportunities, or when I create quotes, to be able to include all this information in the future, right? That's a CRM. There are many different CRMs in the system, in the industry out there. The most famous are one which is called Salesforce, and our own CRM, Microsoft 365 CRM. The reason why we, John Deere, decided to move into the Microsoft CRM are really simple. Basically, because there are many potential interactions with other systems like Excel. So we would be able to import or export information from or into our CRM from any other system, let's say. And on top of it, we have another program called Power BI, which is giving us the possibility to analyze information quickly from the CRM system. Does anybody knows what's Power BI? Have you ever played with Power BI?
Yeah, we use it in our company.
Okay, good. Okay, perfect. Good. So let me briefly define which are the big blocks we have in our system, or the big areas how we have defined this CRM system. The first one is the database management. As most of you know, last year we decided to move all the information from Profile, all the accounts, all the equipments belonging to those accounts from Profile into CRM, right? So nowadays, the only way to edit accounts or create new accounts is through CRM. CRM is our database now on, right? It doesn't mean that Profile is dead. Profile is there still alive behind the scenes, but on read mode for security reasons, for moving our dealers in a more professional way, giving them a more professional tool to keep under control the customer interactions. Was basically our key argument to move into this CRM system, right? And like I said, this is one of the big 4 pillars we have now in the CRM system, the database management. All right. The second one is the sales and admin process. So in CRM, we have 2 versions. We have the LITE mode, a simplified version, and the advanced mode. In many other countries, they are already in advanced mode. But in some cases, in the majority of the dealers we were moving last year from profile into CRM, we decided to move them in CRM LITE mode. That's like I said, a simplified version. So that's sales and admin process, the area where we easily differentiate LITE and advanced mode. In LITE mode, right, we create opportunities for customers and win or lose them. That's all. In advanced mode, we are able to control our stocks, our orders from John Deere system, control and keep this information alive. The sales rep will be able to create, after the opportunity, quotes, one or many quotes associated to those opportunities, and either consume the information from the stock or create new configurations from build and price. And last, whenever they win a quote, there is an admin process controlled by the admin department, where they can analyze what the sales rep sold, quote by quote, and detect if this machine was coming from the stock, so nothing to be done apart of delivering the machine, or if the sales rep purely sold a configuration, put that configuration in mint, ordering that machine in the reality, wait for the factory delivery date, and then control the delivery, right? So basically, these are the main differences between LITE and advanced. Today, you are in LITE, you are in the simplified version. So you just need to maintain the accounts and create the opportunities, win them or lose them, and that's all, right? That's the big difference in this area. Is there any question about LITE and advanced? Nope.
It's clear. I have one question.
Yep.
Will this system, CRM LITE, will help me to control all point of the customer success journey? I mean, customer experience contact. I mean, CCP program, customer care program. Can I control this CRM LITE version? This
in CRM, you are able to prospect. You are able to add customers to any prospect list from John Deere or from yourself. That's the next point. That's giving you a new world of possibilities. So you're not able just to control and create your own campaigns or your own market, your John Deere campaigns or John Deere marketing list, but on top of it, you can create selection of customers for any specific reason or any activity. And you would be able to add information after the contacts with these customers. I'm not really familiar with customer care processes, so I don't know if Oleg or Alexander can help me to define a little bit better with examples, with real examples, what could be done with the CRM. For instance, could you be more precise with actions belonging to those processes?
I mean, you asked me about customer care process.
Yep.
It's some actions to approving of operations, combines or self-propelled sprays.
So it's about quoting or approve what? Approve help on deals? Approve what?
I need check. I need to control exact date of I need to control through my this process to that this actions have been done by personnel.
Yeah, so, but which actions do you mean exactly? Could you be more precise, please?
I mean to some actions
Ярослав, можливо,
to change.
краще українською, скажіть, я перекладу.
Я маю на увазі Customer Care Process – це переналаштування комбайна з однієї культури на іншу. Налаштування меншої кількості втрат зерна і інші.
Але ж яким чином ви хочете це зробити? Ви хочете це якось контролювати через систему? Ви хочете вказати, що для цього клієнта було виконано, а для цього ні? Чи що саме ви хотіли сказати?
Я хотів би контролювати виконання всіх пунктів по кожній машині, яка відвантажується в одній системі. Щоб це було виконано вчасно і з відомими виконавцями.
Окей, я зрозумів зараз. Стараюсь передати це запитання до Гонсала. So, Gonzalo, I will try to explain the question from Yaroslav's side. So, he's actually asking about customer support. He would like to see if points of service was correctly provided to the customer in time by his team, by his aftermarket team, service team, let's say. So if before the delivery, this combine, for example, was prepared, pre-delivery inspection was provided, and then during the process of working, this machine was working correctly, and service provided necessary adjustments and corrections in the field. So, will it be possible to use this system to report these points in the system and actually inform manager about this task done?
Yep. So let me briefly explain. The CRM originally was, let's say, focused on sales, but the more we are rolling out the system into the dealers, they are demanding more and more, increasing or expanding the areas of control of CRM, not just for sales, but for parts or for customer care. So said that in CRM, you can create tasks, for instance, associated to equipment, right? So if, for instance, if I win an opportunity, I would like to create a task for in 2 years like you said, maybe if the machine must be in the workshop every year, you can create recurrences associated to that machine on the calendar to control that this machine should be moving. So there's no notification, there's no direct notification, there's no email, but you can create tasks in the calendar to check that serial number blah 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 should attend to the or should be visiting the workshop. That's something you can do. Yep. It's not defined, or it's not a process defined in CRM system, but you can do that. Or maybe you can create one specific view with all the serial number machines delivered in the last 18 months, 12 months, or 1 year, or whatever period of time you need to keep them under control, right? To see, okay, I need to get in touch with these, and this guy, because I sold them a machine 2 years ago, and perhaps to remind them to visit the workshop. This is something you can do as well. So everything which is coming from sales, at the end of the day, the equipments you sell, the opportunities, can be reviewed not just by the sales department, but from the parts or the service department to keep under control any process you have internally. Maybe answer your question now somehow.
Yes, thank you.
No problem. So
I can still, I
yep.
think it would be nice if we will provide some example during our training how we can use aftermarket as well together with sales in the system.
Sure.
Maybe
I
it
should
will
finish the introduction,
help to,
Oleg, and then
yeah.
go a little bit into the system, right? To keep
Of
a
course,
kind of a structure of this meeting, right? But yeah, let's do that, okay? Let's keep this question, let's park this question by the end of this meeting, and maybe I can give you some examples today by the end of this meeting. Is that fine?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, because it's difficult to me to explain something which we still haven't seen, and I still haven't explained you going through the system. That's what I'm trying to say. I can define it, but it's very theoretical. I can now show you that in the system. Give me some minutes, and I will do that. Okay.
Let's see. Okay.
Good. No problem. Then the third pillar is the marketing. Like I was saying, you can be part or contribute to John Deere marketing campaigns, mailers, or any other campaign created by us, by John Deere, or create your own prospect list with any criteria or any condition. You can create and define this a list of customers for any marketing activity in the future or sales activity in the future. And last piece of the CRM system is the activities. Here we can include tasks and appointments where you can report the result of your visits. There is a nice thing we have as well in CRM, which is the synchronization between CRM and Outlook. If you do have a Microsoft 365 license, that is possible, and that is for free, where the synchronization between the agendas in both systems will take place. Okay? Basically, these are the 4 big areas we have, and surrounding these 4 big areas, we have the Power BI reports, right? Where we get information from the different areas, and we can easily make decisions based on facts, right? Which is the big difference of using or not using a CRM system. We stop doing decisions based on assumptions or feelings, and we can start doing actions and putting in place actions based on facts, on real facts, right? Good. Then I will briefly define as well the sales process, and we will move into the system. Okay. So I don't know if you have, as far as I learned last week from the field team of CIS, you know somehow this sales process from John Deere or customer interactions from John Deere, as you've been working with a sales funnel for some years, right? But basically, let me briefly describe what is this, what we have in front of us. This is the sales path we covered with every interaction with our customers. Being a territory manager, at least many years ago, I was using somehow this process, right? Now it's a little bit more defined and more concrete, but let's say that every new fiscal year, I was having meetings with dealers to start doing this planning phase, analyzing the areas, my area of responsibility, analyzing low sales with high potential areas, and trying to put some actions in place for the future, like demonstration of machines or net campaigns for specific models or any other thing, trying to promote sales in specific areas. This is what we call planning, right? Next step is prospection. Considering the different sources of information, you may have registrations from the government, finance information, subsidies information, or any other thing, or even your own databases. You can start creating a list of customers to be focused and to target for the next 3 months, 6 months, or the next year. That's exercise we call prospection, to be more effective in our next step, which is the opportunity detection. It was very typical in Spain that the sales rep of the dealers were just getting the keys of the car and start moving around in the area of responsibility, trying to create some opportunities or detect some opportunities. But this process is very random, let's say. We try to use a more scientific system, which is analyzing the information we have thanks to our databases, and start defining those routes to be able to visit the customers and detect a little bit better with more efficiency our opportunities to be able to be with the right customer at the right time, right? The one who visit the customer first probably have more chances to win that deal, right? That arriving probably at the end of that opportunity. If New Holland or Class have been dealing with the customer 2-3 months, it's a little bit complex, right? We just can decrease the price probably, and there will be no other argument. But if we are the first visiting the customer, maybe we can convince the customers a little bit easier, right? That's where we are trying to gain time with the customers to be able to detect them on time by using the prospection. So after the opportunity detection, not in LITE but in advanced, we are able to create quotes. In LITE mode, we will just win and lose. That's what we call the participation and closure ratios. Big and important ratios we use to measure participation, to measure closure, and how they indirectly are defining our market share, right? This is how we can interact with these both ratios in our system, being able to define participation and closure ratio at any level, model level, series level, family level, combines, tractors, 6M or whatever, and even at sales rep level. That's the information that CRM will provide us in the Power BI report format, right? So we will keep participation and closure under control. And last, again, in advanced, we are able to control the delivery of the machines, right? To check that everything is perfectly fine before delivering the machines to our customers. Per-delivery inspections provided, I don't know, the trading or the used equipment reception from our side, any piece of the administrative task before delivering a machine is controlled within a specific area, but in advanced mode, not in LITE. And last but not least, the follow-up. Our more than known process 333, 3 days, 3 weeks, and 3 months visits after the delivery of any machine, right? This is the, let's say, customer journey as we know it, or customer process or sales process. And in each and every step, we are able to add information in CRM, right? Creating the prospect list, creating the opportunities, the quotes, and anything else. Modifying and updating the customer database is affecting all the steps. Creating tasks or appointments with the customers to create the opportunity, to create the quote in each and every step. And this process is not giving us a chance to control the full sales path in general to all my customers. Is giving me the chance to control every step with every individual customer, connecting all the dots for every individual customer to help me to define where I failed or why I was success with one or the other customers, or within a specific product family like combines. Is not the same, that process for combines, for balers, or for tractors, right? This is very, very, very much linked with a sales funnel, right? If we would move here, we have a no, we don't have it here. Give me 1 sec, please, and you will see that immediately. There we go. We have here the same sales process on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, we have the sales funnel. What would happen if I would move 90 degrees this sales process? I would be analyzing exactly the same with the sales funnel, from prospection, moving into opportunities, to number of quotes, participation and closure, right? That's why it's so critical, the connection of both methodologies. The sales path together with the sales funnel to help me to define if I would have enough opportunities to finally cover the goal, or I need more prospects or more quotes in this or that family for this or that salesman. That is something that will give to me if I would use appropriately the CRM together with Power BI reports, right? But again, you will see that during this week. Many details about this methodology, and we will move into specific examples. All right. Is there any question before we continue? Nope. Good. So let's continue defining a little bit more the CRM. CRM is a website tool, so you can access. You don't need to install any software or any other thing. You just need a device with internet connection, laptop, tablet, or cell phone. You need a URL address to access to CRM, and you need your user and password. That's all you need. That's a big advantage because nothing is saved on any individual device. This is stored in the cloud by Microsoft. We do not have access to any of this information as John Deere employees. It's your information. And the CRM system is not exclusive for John Deere. You can use the CRM system to any other brand you are selling, right? I can give you many examples of dealers out there in Spain or in the UK where they're using CRM for John Deere, for Kramer, for any brand they sell, right? They can control the opportunities. They can, in advance, control their stock, use these stock machines to create quotes and delivering the machines at the end of the day, okay? And keep the database, not just for John Deere equipment, but for any other equipment. All right? Good. So first thing we need to do, let me share my screen. There we go. The very first thing we need to do to give access to any new user in the CRM system is moving into DPA, right? Let me use an example. By going there, you must set access, move into the sales piece, and at the very bottom, you will find these three license types we have in place, right? Remember what I mentioned before, we have two versions. We have advanced, we have LITE. So what does it mean, this limited? Limited is one of the specific license we have for, which is valid for the both versions, for advanced or for LITE. Limited is just to be able to create accounts and control the information belonging to those accounts. So address, equipment belonging to the accounts, or any other thing. This is a license that was requested by many dealers saying, hey, I would like to have a cheaper license for people that just keep my database updated, being even in advance, either in advance or LITE. But for instance, I have many employees in my business, which is like in parts department, which is in front of customers. They don't need to create opportunities. They don't need to create codes, but could contribute effectively to the health of the database. For instance, being seated in a parts counter in front of customers, they could update the information, or being responsible to deliver the machines as a technician, they could create additional information to the customers, or to collect the letter of consent, or any other thing. That's the reason why we created this limited. As I said, this is valid for LITE. In your case, you are in LITE version, so you should press here LITE. There are two different prices. Limited is 20 euros, LITE is 49 euros per user per month. Any question before I continue? Yaroslav, any question?
No question. It's clear.
Good. So for me, aftermarket people could start using the system here with limited. If they don't need to create opportunities, that's a cheaper license. They can see the system, they can access to the accounts and to the information, the equipment belonging to those accounts and any other thing, and perhaps start using the system from there, right? With a cheaper license.
If I understand you correctly, CRM LITE, LITE allow for us to create some demand of actions that we can control.
Yep.
Great.
All right. Good. In LITE, not in limited. Limited, as I said, limited is just to control the database of the customers, right? Good. So once you give access here in DPA to the new employee, the next step is wait 2 to 8 hours, and then this new user will be visible in the system here in settings, users. In this section, we see all my users in my system. So I should access to that specific user. Initially, I can see read only, so I can't modify anything here. So I must go to user data, 3 dots, plus new maintain user information. We are collecting all the changes in this specific area. So anybody with a role, with a manager role, ending in 6, would be able to modify access, modified information from the other users. But for security reason, we have this function, user data, 3 dots, plus you maintain user information, to switch this read into edit mode. And now I would be able to assign the right role here to that user. So you may wonder which other existing roles I can apply for these new users. Let me open that in 1 second. I will provide this information as well with together with a video. Give me 1 sec. There we go. 1 second. Yeah. This is explained as well in this simple this description of the system instructions, let's say. So we have, like I said, 3 versions: LITE, limited, advanced. Today you are here, the first 5, or the first 5 recommended roles. For limited, remember, just to create accounts and modify the accounts, we have 2 roles, 202, 206. My recommendation would be 206. These guys can change the accounts they create, plus on top of any account in the dealer. If you would assign the role 202, this is a very, very limited. They are able just to modify the accounts they own, they have created. So to me, make no sense. Ideally, if you want to contribute to add more info into any account in my business, I would assign 206. And the LITE is recommended for salesmen and sales managers. Limited is maybe for admin people. LITE is for sales, because in LITE they can create opportunities. We have different roles. 102, that's the role for simple sales reps, right? To be able to create opportunities, but they can't see the other opportunities. So they just focus and can see the opportunities they create. You have as well 106. This is the manager role. They can see and modify any opportunity in the dealer, right? Questions? Depending on that role, that's what you should be adding here through the magnifier, 102, 106, or 202, 206, okay? And with this, that user can now access to the system. How? Let me explain you and define how it works. So as far as you can see here in the top right corner, let me sign out. I'm going to use another system to sign in and sign out. Give me 1 sec. Every time I try to access to CRM, let me give you the and paste in the chat the URL access. So you can have it. I'm going to paste it on the chat. This is the John Deere access, jddealersales.crm4.dynamics.com. So you will land here. If you have a Microsoft 365 license, probably the system will try to connect you directly with this Microsoft 365 from AGROSEM or AGRISTAR. That's not your user in CRM. So you should click here, use another account, and add your user ID, X12345 or whatever it is, followed by add John Deere Dealer2.com. This is super important. Every user should know that as a super basic knowledge to be able to enter in the system. Right after that, the system will ask me to connect or to authenticate myself using Okta verification system. And simply by following these steps, I will end up in the CRM system, in the home tab here. All right. Questions, comments? No questions? So probably today you have already granted access to new users, you know the CRM access and anything else, but I like to record this content because this will be useful for new managers, new sales rep, or anything else that would be interested to see how to get access to others, to the John Deere system, or even to themselves. Okay. Good. So if there's, please feel free to interrupt me at any time you have any question, right? I don't want this to be a monologue, but I would prefer that would be a dialogue, right? Good. So my recommended next step as a new user in the system would be clicking here on the settings area, going into personalization settings, and from there, the very first time in the day I access here, it takes seconds. But from there, I would be start putting in place the settings of me as a user in the CRM system, right? This is fully recommended, but you just need to be, you just need to do that one time in your life, right? Good. Then this is giving you access to these set personal options. In the very first tab, we have general. My recommendation here is records per page. Move it to the 250 to the maximum. With this, we are able to see. Let me press OK. In any time I access to any section showing a list of records, for instance, accounts, contacts, okay, it doesn't matter. It's showing to me the maximum possible. Let me go to equipment because the list will be longer. So it's showing to me 250 in the same, it's just scrolling up or down, right? But I see the full list of 250 by 250. I have here pages. In my case, in my fake system, I have 2,500 equipment. So if I would have to see or check the next one, moving into the next page, I will see now 250 to 500. Next page, 501, 750, and so on and so on. That's what I'm trying to see. Simply by personalization settings, moving this to the top, 250, right? What else? I would select the right time zone. In your case, Ukraine, what is this, +2 or you know that?
+48.
Sorry?
+38.
+38? No, it's +1, 2, +1, +2, +3 hours. 38 can be.
+2.
Sorry.
+2.
+2, sorry. Okay, thank you. So selecting here +2, you will be in the right time zone. The currency, that would be, as far as I know, euros, right? Yep. So if you don't find that in the list, it's as simple as look up for more records. And then here you can find euro, ticket, add it. There we go. Okay. That's all we need to do with every new user.
Sorry, if we have two currencies, US dollar and euro.
Which is the more frequent?
For large tractors, it's dollars. For combines and small tractors, it's euro.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, this is more defined for the future. If you would decide to move into advanced to create quotes, that's the predefined currency for those quotes. Okay. Today you're not quoting, so it is not a big deal, right?
Okay.
Good. But of course, you can then personalize customer by customer the different currencies, or in the future, the currency by product. Okay, good. Let's move into the next tab, important tab, activities. I don't know how you like to see the calendar normally in Outlook. In my case, I prefer to see that in a monthly basis, but you can define week, day, or month. Based on that, that's how in the future the calendar will be seen in CRM as default. Okay, of course you can always change one or the other view. Then format. In many cases by default the current format is Spanish, so let me check if you can find here Ukrainian. Yep, you should select that one, and by that the typical format from Microsoft will be adapted to your own preferences as a country, but you can always customize, let's say, right? And then last but not least, languages. You can see here the existing languages in the system. As far as I can imagine, your case would be English, right? Alexander speaks Spanish, but I'm not sure that this is very typical in Ukraine, right? To speak Spanish. Nope. Good. Of course, you can make use of this. Google Translate is not perfect, but maybe for some users could help using translate function and change it to, let me check if Ukrainian is in the list. Ukrainian. And not sure how good is this translation, but you see how everything has moved into, is this Cyrillic? Yeah. Even the content, right? You don't need to change the format. Sorry, let me move to my original English. All right. That's very helpful in some cases. It's not perfect, it's not translated by you or reviewed by you, but at least could be better in some cases than English for some users. Okay, good. That's all about this setting area. Right. Let me continue with my my training notes to be more organized. All right, so let's continue with the general settings. I don't know if someone did it with you, but just in case to be sure that everything is fine, I would like to confirm that with you. Right, so going into sales in the system, we have one place called locations. Let me teach you how you can create and add your own outlets here. This is for your control. In the future, if you would like to move into advanced, that's a nice area where you can allocate the different stock or orders into the right outlet, right? To keep your stock under control. This is as simple to create the locations as clicking on a plus new, add a new name here, I don't know, Kiev, and then save and close. Now I have a new location called Kiev here, right? If someday I will close this outlet in Kiev and move it to any other place, I can always tick it and deactivate it. So just few things in the CRM system can be totally removed. In the majority of the cases, we activate or deactivate things, but simply clicking on the view inactive locations, maybe I can reactivate it if I did it by mistake. Right? Or finally, again, deactivate it. Right? As simple as this. That's how we add locations into our systems. Good. Let's continue with the settings. Again, just one person, please, by dealer, do the modifications. Otherwise, you will start creating duplicities, right? Just one single person by dealer should make these modifications. Settings. Let's see what we have here. Users. Let's start with users. Let me modify this user. Do you remember how I did that before? User data, 3 dots, plus new user information, new maintain user information. And here is the place where I can add the first name, last name, mobile phone, email, location, maybe, I don't know, Peñafiel, address line, job title. I can create job titles, sales rep, admin manager, or chief of officer, or any other thing by clicking here plus new user, or here the same. For instance, yeah, I'm gonna, oh, no, I'm gonna keep here. Or adding the address of that person, where in which, or the address of the outlet he's working at. The benefit of adding this info is that in advanced, when you are creating quotes, that information is automatically being added into the quotes, right? So the sales rep do not need to add manually in every quote they print for the customer this location. They can select I can select for every user the manager. That's super useful. So with this, let me go to a new note here. How this user hierarchy works. I can start defining from the bottom layer. So sales rep 1, sales rep 2, sales rep 3, I can define a kind of pyramid or organization chart, let's call it that way, that maybe sales rep 1, sales rep 2 reports to sales manager 1, sales rep 3, 4, and 5 to sales manager 2, blah, 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 right? So we can start creating fences of visibility. So sales manager 2 just can see opportunities for sales rep 3, 4, and 5. Sales manager 1 can see just opportunities from sales rep 1 and 2, and so on and so on. And maybe sales manager 1 and 2 reports to group sales manager. And this guy directly to the dealer principal, right? How we create this user hierarchy, starting from the bottom, adding here a manager. You just can add one manager per person, right? Now I have defined myself as a manager of this guy. All right, that's super, super useful. in the future for the Power BI reports, where I can see information not just analyzed by sales rep, but by groups, by individual sales manager, or by group sales manager, or in general. All right, simply by selecting that manager. Is there any question? No? So then, as I said before, in the users, you must go one by one, adding the right manager, then to the sales manager, adding the group sales manager, and so on and so on. Then the user configuration, we have defined that already, role 102, 106, or in limited 202, 206. This is not needed at all, it's just optional, but Power BI access. On Wednesday, we will review the Power BI access. I would ask you to access here before Wednesday and grant access to the people that should be able to see opportunities and control the opportunities, the sales pipeline, and so on and so on. Right? Grant yourself, if you're every role 6 or 106 can modify this area and can grant access to themselves. All right? Questions? No question? So please do that before Wednesday. Or if you would be on Wednesday with me, you will try to access to Power BI and will say, hey, I can access. Of course, you need to grant access to yourself in the user settings on CRM system. Okay? Goodie. So let's continue with, with the CRM system. Let me move into the yep. Moving into the left-hand side, we're not gonna see today email templates or email signatures. Let's continue with the business type. With the business types, by default, you have some existing business types in your CRM, right? Let me translate that because these are Spanish business types. This is a farmer, contractor, ag contractor, cooperative, livestock farmer, golf courses. So these are big business types, let's say. If you read them in settings, production business types, and you miss anything here, of course, you can add on top of the ones created in the system by default, you can add more business types here. For instance, I don't know, soccer clubs. All right. Again, just one person by dealer creating that. Otherwise, you will do if Oleg or Alexander and myself would create that at the same time, you will see here repeated 3 times soccer clubs, and then we have to deactivate, right? That's the reason why I'm asking just one single person controlling in general the business type, production types, like we will see in a minute, and some other stuff. Questions? We will see how we can use these business types in some minutes, okay? In the account and in the contacts. Next one, production types. We have 20 whatever, 27 in this case. This is rice. These are milk cows, horses, barley, contractors, silage, corn. So corn. So this is sunflower. So what I'm trying to say with production types, this is a little bit more detail on the types of production this customer is working with. If you are fine with the ones we have, perfect. If you are missing something here, we could create, for instance, I don't have here kiwis. Okay, plus new, I add kiwis, and that's important. I must add in brackets how I'm measuring that production in hectares or in heads, if that would be animals. As this is a crop, I just add hectares, save and close, and then this is added here kiwis, hectares, right? That will help me to qualify my customers by production type in the future. Good. Any other question? Nope. All fine? Petro, Jaroslav?
No questions.
No have questions. All understand.
Good. Perfect. So now let me briefly describe how to navigate through the system. Okay. I will give you some tips or tricks on how to navigate through the system. Good. So basically, CRM looks very similar to many other Microsoft system, for instance, Outlook. So let me compare. If I would open my Outlook here, you see how you have some sections or areas, let's say, depending on the area. If I switch to calendar or to contact, you see how the section is changing. You have a big window with records, and you have buttons at the top to change the options, right? The concept is very similar with CRM. You have here areas, 4 big areas: sales, marketing, product catalog, or settings. Normally we work in sales. These are the sections on the left hand side, and depending on the section, you have some buttons and a big screen, right? Basically, that's all how it looks like. Depending on the zoom, bigger or smaller, the screen is adapting. For instance, in the dashboards, if I would remove, you see how it's changing, putting more info or more boxes into the view. At some point, this will be moved, and we'll just show one big box, right? So don't go crazy. Is sometimes a matter of the zoom, why the information is being moved up or down, or the options in the ribbon are disappearing and being hidden after the 3 dots. Let me show you a typical example here. For instance, you see some options here, but as long as we are increasing the zoom, they're hidden with the 3 dots, right? Or being appearing here. Ideally, I like to work in the 75. That's all. Okay, good. Next thing we have here is the black label. In the black label, you have the 9 dots on the left. These are all the apps we have in. Oops, sorry. These are the existing apps in Microsoft environment, which is opening to me a new tab and showing to me the existing apps we have, like Outlook, Excel, PowerPoint, Power BI, or any other thing, right? We can access quickly from here. We have the John Deere logo, and we have the system versions we have. Normally, you should be in LITE, right? In the future, you would be able to decide advanced or another one which is called sales rep, but it's not there, right? So to ensure that you are on the right version of the system, you should see this John Deere and LITE. And next, you have the searching box. In the searching box, you can find anything, everywhere, in this black label. It's not restricting the search to that specific area in accounts, active accounts. It's showing to me production types, business type, users, or any other thing associated to the text I'm adding here, right? Like Thomas. I don't know if there will be something about Thomas. Yeah, for instance, I can find accounts, I can find contacts, I can find opportunities by using this big box. The other searching box is that one, which is restricted to the information I have in front of me relative to active accounts. So if I would find here Thomas and would click on the arrow right, that is filtering here anything relative to Thomas. All right. Again, clicking on the X, that's removing that filter. Good. I have 2 possibilities to move back to the previous area I was. Of course, I can use the browser arrow back or the CRM system arrow back. My favorite is this one because it doesn't matter how many times I click here, it's always keeping me in the CRM context. At some point, if I would click here, arrow back, that could be jumping me out of CRM and moving me to any magazine or any newspaper I was visiting with the browser, right? That's why I always prefer to be always here in the CRM system by clicking this one. All right, questions? Nope, good. Then I can hide or show the sections here. Let me go back again to sales, sales. In sales, you can find many sections. Of course, I'm not going to cover today all the sections. I will go to the main ones. By default, in the home page, you have the dashboard. That's one of the cool things I can find in CRM. The dashboards are the compilations of the most or the most frequently visited areas in the CRM system. You have some in the system by default, sales rep pipeline or sales manager pipeline, and I have created on top of this system dashboard individual dashboards I shared with you. So I would encourage you to move into the let me show you your versions. I would highly encourage you to move yourself to John Deere Wiz Dashboard Lite. This is something I have defined for you, for AGROSEM, AGRISTAR, and for all the dealers in the CRM system in John Deere International Sales. And by moving here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 boxes. My favorite, where you easily can navigate by using this individually this dashboard, accessing to activities, tasks, or appointments you have created. You are able to see the calendar here, right? For your activities, you would be able to access your marketing list, to the accounts, and to the opportunities you have in your system, right? If you remember, with these 6 boxes, we are covering, like I said at the beginning, the main areas we have in the system: the database with the accounts, the opportunities, activities, and marketing lists. You have all you need in this dashboard. That's why I would like to show you today how to navigate through these dashboards. And don't use the left-hand side areas, which is the same, but from here to me is very simple, right? Moving again to my fake system, I have here the same. So I can access from here to the accounts area just by accessing to that box, clicking on the 3 dots, because the option here is hidden. And let's see all records. Let's see how I'm in the dashboard, but suddenly the system is jumping me to this specific view in the account system. And by using the arrow back, that is bringing me back again to the dashboard. So then if I need to see any opportunity, just by clicking on the hyperlink, that is bringing me to that specific opportunity. I can make my modifications, I can make any change. And again, using the arrow back is bringing me to the home page. To me, that's a better option than moving through the left-hand side, moving to that section and then trying to find from which area it comes from or from another area. Now I can see the marketing list, but now I must move again to sales, to accounts. So many clicks can be saved just by using the home page, going to the right box, and maybe creating a new account from here, creating a new marketing list from here, or accessing to the existing opportunities from here. Right? Question, comments? No? So let's see how any section looks like. For instance, my active accounts. You see here all the buttons we have. And in any section, you have individual views. For instance, here, active accounts, if you would click there, you have many additional views added in the system. For instance, key account view, or inactive accounts, the one that I have deactivated for any reason, or even views I have created for myself with any condition, with any columns, with any whatever, right? Because I like for AGROSEM that view, right? I'm going to show you in some minutes how to create your own views. By clicking here, that is changing. Or I can move back again to active accounts, right? Good. What else I can do? I have here like an Excel file view where I can see columns, I can see rows. Like in Excel, I can move the size of the columns to be able to see that a little bit better. Of course, I can sort from Z to A, from A to Z, or even filter by. Equals, contains, begins with, maybe begins with Alford. That is filtering, or clear filter, moving again back. That is helping me, for instance, to filter all my customers in Madrid. Equals, or begins with Madrid. And maybe accounts type A, or A and K. So you can multi-filter from here, you see, to control your database. The owner is the sales rep responsible for that customer. All right. Good. I don't know. Can you please, Alexander and Jaroslav, confirm me if you have assigned the sales rep, or let's say the customer, to the right sales rep in your system? Have you done this exercise already or not?
Not
yet. Okay.
Not yet. Yeah.
And Jaroslav, you know that?
No, we do not that.
Okay. So that's something extremely important from my point of view, right? So in general, what we did was to migrate all of the information from profile into CRM. So there you should have all your accounts and the equipment belonging to those accounts. But the next step is to allocate those customers to the right sales rep. So they can start editing that account, adding the missing details, and creating the opportunities in the future. And every manager, again, can modify anything. This is a kind of God mode, let's say. But the sales rep are the ones that just can edit their own accounts. There's no limitation at all to see all the accounts in your business. So every sales rep can see any account in the system, but they just can edit the accounts they own, right? They are responsible for the accounts they own. And on top of it, they will be able to create any opportunity on any customer in the business. There's no limitation to create opportunities, okay? I will repeat that on Wednesday when we will see opportunity mode. Good. You may say, but here, this is a very good view, but here I'm missing, for instance, the profile ID. No problem. You can use this edit column button. Click on add a column, search for profile ID, tick it, close, move the profile ID up or down. Maybe you now do not need this purchasing group, so I can remove it. And maybe I would like to have the primary contact right below the address, blah, 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 blah. Apply. I'm creating a new view with the structure I have defined with the profile, with all the columns modified. Next step, as far as you see here, there is a star at the end of the title of the view. So this is not saved yet. I must click on Save as a new view, give a name, active accounts with profile ID, and then save it. Now there will be a new view in my system, accounts, active accounts with profile ID, accessible to me. Maybe that's my favorite view in accounts, so I can move down, 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 set as default view. So if now I move to contacts, but then I move again to accounts, this will be my defined view. And you may say or wonder, is this visible for any other user in AGROSEM or AGRISTAR? Not yet, but I can click here, share, manage access, and either add individually user by user permission to read it, or using the DA group, dealer administration group. These are the managers group. Tick it and give them access to read, or even better, type here your dealer ID number and give access just with one group to all the users in your organization. It doesn't matter if this is going to be a new user in the system, they will have immediately access to that new view you have created. It's super flexible as far as you see here. Okay. Questions?
Can you repeat again? What is the mean account type? A, B,
I will
C,
go there in a
D?
minute.
Oh,
Yeah. It's a super question, but let me explain that in some minutes.
Okay.
When I will explain you how to create new accounts and all the possibilities you have on regards to the account. Yeah, but it's a very, very good question, Petro. About view creation or sharing, is there any question? Nope.
If can we put another example, email or phone?
Yeah. So what
Where
would you
can
like
we find?
to do? You have that info here.
Add other phone or change phone. You can
Change
do
the from here.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, I would access to the account and then modify the email, for instance, Gmail, save and closed. And by moving again back to the view, you will see how now Ronaldo has a Gmail account. Oops, in a minute, right? Let me, because this is from the primary contact, sorry. I should go here to the contact, then changing that to Hotmail, for instance. Save and closed, and let me check now. Yep. Hotmail, you see? You must access to that specific record to change that. Not from here, but from the specific, accessing to that specific account, okay? Petro?
Probably we can check and write it via a general email, office example, or bookkeeper, where it's a private mail.
Okay, good. This is the contact email. I will define what's a contact and what's an account. But yeah, so in your particular example, you want the main account email. So I would click here, edit column, add column, email, account email, close, move it up, apply. And this is the main email account. The one I did it before with Gmail. Do you remember my first change? Then again, this is a not saved yet view. Click, 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 save changes to current view. There we go. Right? Petro, is that fine?
Yes, understand. Thanks.
Good. Any other question, guys? And ladies?
No, everything pretty clear. Thank you.
Okay, good to see. Yeah. So you don't need to take notes during this training. For me, the most important thing for the few hours we're going to spend together is just you see the system, you understand the potential, the possibilities, and of course, after this meeting, you can watch the records again and practice by yourself. Okay. Good. Then we have seen how to navigate. Are you okay? Can you stay with me another 15 minutes and we will do a break? Is that fine? Yeah. Good. So just 15 more minutes and we will do a break. Okay. Good. So how can I create a new account? Just imagine, again, putting an example, going into my homepage. That's what I should do every day. I see the notifications. Oh, it's Katia's birthday. Oh, I'm gonna phone her. Or maybe I have 6 more notifications. There's an opportunity closing scene in my calendar. No activities with this opportunity. I haven't maintained that opportunity for so long. Or I have another activity to be done today. I see the main notifications. Good. But today I'm gonna, I'm gonna meet a new customer. Let me check if I have him on my database. Let's say, let me use a nice example. Do you like soccer? Yep. You know Rodrigo Goes? This is a super striker from Real Madrid. Let me try to find him here. Rodrigo. Oh, unfortunately, is not created yet as an account. So I'm gonna create him. So simply by clicking here plus new, I'm gonna add this new account in my database, right? Good. I start from the account name, Rodrigo Goes. And normally I add the acronym. This is a Society Limited in Spain, right? Or anonymous society, or however you call it. There's a big difference in the system, or 2 main entities in our system, CRM system, accounts and contacts. Account is the business or the entity I do business with. That's generating a profile number, and I'm communicating sales to accounts. On top of accounts, I have contacts. Contacts are the person, could be one or many persons for big accounts, right? For instance, the farmer, the wife of the farmer, the cousin of the farmer, the tractor driver, the controller, the agronomist, or any other person that could work in a big company, right? These are contacts, people, individual people. And with those people, I do marketing. I invite them to events. I invite them to demonstrations. But at the end of the day, I'm selling the machine to the main account, Rodrigo Goes. All right? Is that clear? Good. Next thing to your question, Petro. Account type. We have A, B, C, and K and S. Let me start by K, or key accounts. Probably in your business, you have already defined your key accounts with your territory managers. These are the super accounts, right? The ones that suddenly buy 3 combines in a row or 10 tractors in the same year, right? So at least in my country, our dealers may have 10, 15, 20 key accounts by dealer. They all know them, they regularly meet them, and they have direct contact with these key accounts regularly, okay? The strategic are one super specific case where that account maybe have some lands in South Africa, in Ecuador, in Bolivia, Venezuela, in United States, and in England, right? So to coordinate sale for that type of customers, we need to get in touch with different brands branches with different regions in some cases, so that need the direct support from John Deere. So I don't know if even you do have these S accounts in your case, but could be. That's the reason why we have created that specific type of account, right? But in the 99% of the cases, you will have A, B, or C accounts, right? The A are the most important together with K's. So the A are, I don't know your business there in Ukraine, but here in Spain, A are the super professional customers that replace machine every 5 years, maybe. So contractors and all these type of customers, you know them very well, and you know that they replace every 5-7 years all their machines. B customers are the normal ones, and C customers, these are super occasional customers. Every 15 or 20 years, they change the machines, right? They maybe have one homeowners or hobby farmers or this type of customers, you know? So I can give you some guidelines, but at the end of the day, you must create your own description. So your sales rep understand and qualify appropriately your customers. By default, we have migrated them all into your CRM with account type B. So it will be easy to you to reallocate to A, K, or C. All right. This is helping us to work in a very nice concept created many years ago by one guy called Pareto. Pareto was an Italian economist that was defining the famous 20-80 or 30-70 or whatever, however you may adapt to your business. But basically the concept is that the 20% of your business, or 80%, sorry, 80% of your business is coming from the 20% of your customers, right? So it's super helpful if you would start allocating and identifying the customers appropriately by A or K, so you start focus on the right customers, right? Following the same logic, ideally we should spend the 80% of the time with the 20% of the customers that bring us the 80% of the business. As I said, could be 60-40, 70-30, but it's important to understand the idea to spend time or give our quality time to the right customers, right? That using that logic, we will be more successful. And by analyzing the customers, you would be able to help your sales rep reviewing with them how much time do they spend with C customers. That should be probably visiting them every 2 years, and maybe visiting A customers 2 times a year. Okay.
I have a question. Sorry.
Yep.
Do you mean that accounts type, this classification, it's our own classification? It's not
Yep.
John Deere classification.
Exactly.
Yes, we should decide how we will work with our clients.
Yep.
Okay. And next one, tell me please, this type we should change manually.
Mm-hmm.
When we decided that this client migrates to the other type, we should do this manually.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You can do that manually, or if you have that source of information in Excel or in any other source, we could easily use VLOOKUP function in Excel to massively requalify your customers. This is not super easy, but yeah, if you would do that one time, you know how to migrate information from Excel into the CRM system. Let me use a super stupid example, right? But just for you to understand how the different methods to do something similar. So by going in here, for instance, just imagine that active accounts. I just have one. My gosh. I'm sorry, because sorry, I'm in the wrong environment. Sorry. By going here, so for instance, if I know that the customers coming from Madrid, they are all A or K, there's an easy way to make many modifications at the same time, simply by ticking them all and maybe excluding this or this. For instance, I can edit and use this functionality to move them all to account type K. This is changing massively the information. There is a but here. Please be careful. There's no undo. So once I will change them, let me refresh, and you will see how now the customers from Madrid are K. There's no undo. So once I do that, there's no way to move it back, right? So we must be sure. What are we doing? Oh, this is strange. Well, it's changing step by step. Or it changed just four. Let me check why. So tick them all. Because I didn't select them all. I just exclude two of them. Yeah, I exclude these two, if you remember, right? But if I would select them all and sorry, I can re-change them all to K again. Okay, good. Do that. Now it's changing the 6 records. So I can make multiple edition from your records. That's one option. Another option would be using export and import function, but I will explain that in during this training. I don't know if I will have time today or maybe on Wednesday, but this is another possibility. Exporting the info, changing and uploading again. All right, Victoria?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good, no problem. Then let me go back to my example here. I was creating a new account. I was defining him as a key account in my case. Now it's time to add the information that will go to the first contact created automatically by the system. So this is Rodrigo. The surname is Goes. Mobile phone is 123456. Business phone is not needed. Email is goesrodrigo at hotmail.com. Good. Then sync to profile. This is, as far as you see here, you have some red stars or some blue pluses. Red stars are mandatory field, blue pluses recommended fields. So by clicking here sync to profile, in a few minutes I will get the profile ID, the new profile ID for this customer. All right, good. Is there any other important thing here? Parent account, no. Precision ag segment, I could qualify this as an advanced in precision ag. Farm size, I could say that he has a piece of land of 1,500 hectares. What else? The address. So he lives, let's say, in Castellana. Let me try to find it. Okay, it's not founded in Spain. I don't know why, but Madrid. It's not finding anything. That's interesting. No find anything with A, with B, with A, with K. I mean, my fake system is not working pretty good. Sorry. There we go. So just imagine if you don't find the exact and precise street just by adding any similar or any city or whatever, then you click it, you suddenly see how the logs have disappeared. So now I can be more precise, saying it's calle, I was saying Castellana, number 10, city Madrid, it's 2805, zip code, state is Madrid, region Madrid, and country Spain, España. Nope. Yeah, there we go. So now it's time to save it. And I have added the mandatory fields. which are the account name, account type, first and last name, and the main address here, right? All good? For any reason, my fake system is not working well here, but if you would access to any account, you will see here the map allocating exactly the place where this customer is, right? As I said, I don't know what's happening today with my fake system, but that should be working. You can see the roadmap, you can see aerial view, bird's eye view, or any other thing, right? Or even street side, labels in, labels out. So what we do here is just to connect it with Bings, basically, nothing else. Any question?
I have one question. I can see that every customer will have address with point on the map, Google Map.
Yeah.
Can we see general map our regions with all customer?
Not in CRM, but if you know Power BI, what I would do would be, okay, let's follow the other logic. I would see all my accounts. I would add maybe here, for instance, the zip code, the city, and the main address. Let me add that columns. Address, the latitude, maybe the longitude, the street, address name, and the city was already there. Okay, so I would close it, move it up, and up. Zip code. So apply. Now you have all the address from your customers. If you would, depends on the data quality. And of course, you can export to Excel and use a simple tool like Power BI to allocate the customers in your maps. So we don't have that, but you can easily do that in, I would say, 5 minutes.
I try to find connection. I need generally I need map of population of our machines, population in our regions.
Okay, so let's do the other way around. In your case, in your particular example, what I would do is the equipment. From the equipments, that's what you would like to check. I would search for edit columns, add a column, account, accounts, and maybe from the related. So for additional tables, I would search for the same information, address from the account, address name, where is it, address, that one, and then maybe the city, and maybe zip code, something would be easy for you to map it. I don't know, zip code. No, it's no zip code. Code, let me check here. Zip postal code, sorry. And then what else? Latitude and longitude. Close. Now you have all the info you need, but at equipment level to easily map it through any system you use today to map it, to map info, right? And by exporting to Excel, you get a new Excel file and you make that happen. Let me check how it looks like. Boom. Just managers can download info from CRM system. But that's super easy compared to profile, right? Yeah, there we go. So this is your 2000 whatever equipments, 2000 and almost 600 with a serial number or any other information you need from the machines, customer delivery date or manufacturer delivery date or whatever you need to measure the hours, for instance, plus the model, the series, the account they own, the address of that account to geolocate them. So it's super powerful what you can do with this. But considering always the data or the quality of the data you have, of course.
Okay, thank you.
You like it, Yaroslav? It's a thumb up or thumb down? What do you think, Yaroslav?
I think it's great.
Okay, good. Now happy. Good. So, what else? Sorry, I'm a bit lost. We were in Rodrigo Goes. Yeah. So we have the information from the account. We are just in the summary, right? What else do I have here? Notification. So if I would have any task or any appointment in the future, here it will be appearing, these notifications. And last but not least, on summary tab, we have the timeline. That means that any interaction with this customer will be appearing here as well. Tasks, appointments done in the past will be appearing here. Let me show you some examples. For instance, from one of my favorite accounts like Mbappé. If I would be visiting Mbappé next week, I can see, okay, so many things I've done with Mbappé. There was a task done in the past. Let me see more details. Okay, that was a test I did. Okay, what else? I have another appointment I did the 17th of March. And that was the text I was adding at that time. I hate Mbappé because I'm a Barcelona supporter. Oh, that sales rep was not very polite. What else? Let's see. There was another appointment with Mbappé, and there was a demo done when I was demoing a T7 Combine, the 27th of March. Oh, now this is the first demo I'm gonna do to Mbappé. Let's see how it reacts. So I see here easily all my interactions with the specific customers. I don't need to go to my notebooks and try to find what I feel 3, 4, 5 years ago, because I'll never do that, right? I would just trust on my memory and see what I remember of my visit. It was a T6 or an S6, the demonstration? I can't remember. No problem. You have everything in your CRM. You know, that is the timeline, which is reflecting tasks or appointments I was creating in the past. To create them, plus new appointments or tasks. I will cover that on Friday, how to add new appointments or tasks, not today, okay? But you can add as well notes to that customer. I don't know, create a note, important to be reviewed before any visit. Please always coordinate the visit together with Vinicius Jr. Vini is the one deciding. You know, that's a reminder to me, like a post. Okay. All right. Or maybe I can use the super cool thing we have introduced recently, which is the post. Post help me to get a note here. For instance, add Alberto. That's one of the users in my CRM system. And this guy is going to receive a notification. In my case, I'm going to post myself. So you see how there will be a note here in the ring, in the bell, showing that someone posted me. So I guess I can use that region 2. Oh, sorry, I'm going to use this to search for myself. Sorry. Search for with the at. Let me search myself. Yeah, my user in the system is #region2 data import GA Gonzalo Almodovar, right? So I'm gonna add myself. I can add more people. Please take a look at this account, right? So he needs to be, let's say, qualified appropriately. Good. Add a post. So in a few, 1 minute or whatever, I will see that here appearing, right? So let's continue with training. What else I can do? At account level, I can add attachments, which again is very, very, very useful, right? I can insert information from my own laptop. So for instance, I could scan information from this customer or any document, passport or anything else from the customer, and I simply need to use this attach icon, the one I showed you before, access to that PDF or whatever, and open that and add it here, right? Let me show you how it looks like. I'm adding a Word document and simply whatever, passport, add a note and close. Done. So this document will be attached here and anybody can see that in the future to if needed, right? Of course, I can use the recycle bin to delete it. This is my last function before the break, right? Any question? Any comment?
One question. We can see that we have some tasks, plan of that task. How to how can we control that these tasks have been done by employee?
Because again, I will cover the task and appointments on Friday, okay? But again, this must be fulfilled by them. I'm gonna teach you how it works. So every sales rep will have to complete the task as long as they are creating and completing the task, okay? Sorry, because I select the wrong user. My user is test user, is not the one I said before. That's the reason why it's not appearing here. Test. Yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna please take a look to this customer to be precision ag qualified. Add a post. Give some seconds. So you know what I mean, Yaroslav? I can make an example, quick example in a minute, okay? But again, this is gonna be covered on Friday, okay?
Okay.
Good. So for instance, I'm gonna create a new activity. Hey, you see here, right? The ring. Someone post me in any area. So I just, for instance, I'm here in the home page and I've received this post. Oh, okay. So let's open the notification area. You have been mentioned. Okay, view record. And then this is opening to me the account and which was the post. Please take a look. Okay, precision app, we qualified. Okay, I can flag it, thumb up, and or I maybe can answer. I can reply. Of course, I'll do. Oh, sorry, I was not typing. Of course, I'll do. Thanks for the heads up. Reply, and that will be appearing on the timeline, right? Good. Coming back to your question about creating a task, and with this I will finish and I will do a break, I promise. So going back to the Rodrigo Goes, just imagine that I need to create a new appointment for one of my colleagues. I don't know, the combine specialist. Good. I can create an appointment. All right. I can reassign first to the combine specialist. In this case, I don't know, would be Alberto or whoever, or to region 2, that one. And then subject, visit to demo T5. Okay, so as busy, priority super high because it's an important customer. This should be done by the end of the month, April, all day. Event, save and close. So if I would be this guy, in my calendar, I would see that by the end of the month. Visit demo T5, more details. That was created by another person to me, but it doesn't matter. Then once I finished, I can add here at the end of the description, It went well. He wants a quote. So save and mark as completed. All right, Jaroslav, if I mark as completed, me as a sales rep, I'm confirming that I did that. So if you would be Jaroslav, his manager, you just need to go there, access to that visit, more details. All right, it was completed, perfect. Or maybe going to the another place, which is activity area, see as a grid. Add the, yeah, activity status, for instance, equals completed, apply, and let's see, well, not yet there. It's not my activity, sorry, it was all activities, completed, completed, and there must be the demo to that guy. That was supposed to happen by the end of April. There we go, visit to demo T5, okay? So you can control the activities from your sales rep, but to do so, they must do that on the system, okay? All good? Should we go to the break? Coffee break?
Sorry, I have one question.
Okay.
Do we have ability to track or change by client profile, change address, mail, phone number?
Yeah.
Okay.
To track the changes done, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So for instance, you could go here to accounts. All right. Add a column, modified on or by, modified by and modified on, closed. Move them up just to keep them under control, apply. Save as a new view or change in the same view, it doesn't matter. And last, you can see here, okay, modified on a specific day or maybe filter on or before or on after, and this year in this fiscal period, in the last month, in the last X months, I don't know, last X weeks, and you can see who did that and when.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. So at the end of the day, you can do a million things here. Probably almost anything you can imagine is a database. I mean, it's adding many information every time you change a record behind the scenes, like the modification date, who did that, when, who's the owner. All these things are under control in the CRM database. Okay. Good. So with this, let's be back in 15 minutes, 15. Okay, 15 minutes, and we will continue with the account creation. Cheers.
Yeah.
Okay.